Hey, what's up everybody? We're here at the grocery store. I'm just going to take you through a typical shopping trip for a high-carb, low-fat vegan diet on the super cheap because I'm broke right now, as I'm sure most all of you are. So let's go inside and see what we can find. There is no fat in clementines, so you can eat all these that you want. So typically I like to buy my bananas organic because I eat so many of them. I figure since it's the highest volume of food that I'm eating on any given day, I might as well be paying the extra 10 cents for organic. So I try to not buy them too ripe. Try to get them as spotted as I can, and if they're not spotted enough, I'll have to wait a couple days. So as much as I love dates, and I think that they're incredibly tasty, $6 for this little tiny amount, that's not a very good dollar per calorie ratio for a really broke, high carb, low fat vegan. So I'm going to be skipping these until I graduate college and get a good job. I'm going to get a couple of heads of kale for the morning smoothies. I always like to have a head of kale. I don't like to buy too much at once because it goes bad so fast. So one, maybe two heads of kale at a time. Potatoes. As far as dollar per calorie value, this is even better than rice, and rice is a steal. $3 for a 10-pound bag. It doesn't get much better than that. Cucumbers, 2 for $1. Goes great in a morning smoothie, keeps your blood nice and alkaline. Yeah. Garbanzo beans, canned. I mean, ideally I'd be buying the dried beans and soaking them, but I'm incredibly lazy. So cans, not that big of a deal. Do what you can do. Just try to get the no salt added. I'm going to use these garbanzo beans, maybe with rice in a dish, or to make a low-fat hummus. Now, I try to keep my diet pretty vegan, but every now and then, I just want to get, those essential amino acids that fruits and vegetables don't give me. So, here's a little moist and tender pork St. Louis style ribs. Just kidding, that's not happening. Okay, brown rice, 10 for 10, calorie per dollar, it's so low. I encourage people to try a lot of other kinds of grains like quinoa and amaranth, but when you're broke, brown rice really can't be beat. Okay, so condiments are going to be your best friend when it comes to eating in this lifestyle. You definitely are going to want to be jazzing things up because brown rice is kind of bland. A plain baked potato is pretty bland, so you want to soup it up with salsa or all different kinds of condiments. You're just going to want to watch the sodium, watch the salt intake. You don't want to be retaining all this water, and you're going to get addicted to the salt. This nutritional yeast is a great flavoring and stuff. I use Bragg's liquid aminos, a lot lower sodium content than like soy sauce or some other things that you might have on top. I won't be buying any of this stuff today because I already have it, but I just figured it was worth pointing out. Alright, frozen vegetables are going to be a broke, high-carb, low-fat vegan's best friend. I mean, if I had the preference, I would like to be buying that $5.99 a pound fresh, baby spinach, fresh arugula, all that stuff. That's great. If you can't afford it, you need to have the option. Frozen vegetables are the way to go. You can get a pound of frozen spinach for $1. You can steam it, put it in dishes. You can even juice it or blend it. I put it in smoothies when I want that extra leafy green, and I'm all out of kale. So this is where the problem with most vegan diets lay, is the fact that people go vegan and they eat stuff like this. And this is about 50% fat. It's full of sodium. You really, one sausage is 30% of your daily sodium allotment. So, just because, being vegan, that's nice and all, but you really want to be vegan and be eating a lot more whole foods and not as much of this processed stuff, because you're not gonna lose any weight, you're not gonna feel good if your diet's primarily filled with stuff like this. Salsa, it's great on a baked potato, it's great on brown rice, and it's so easy for a high-carb, low-fat vegan lifestyle. Cool. So hummus is always any vegan's best friend. Unfortunately, the hummus that tastes the best is also not all that great for you. Lots of fat, and really expensive really when it comes down to it. So make your own hummus at home. I order tahini off of Amazon and get it on the super cheap, and I can usually cut the store price of $3 or $2.50 for one of these by, I can cut the price in half if I make it at home by myself. Okay, so I generally like to keep processed foods to a minimum, but I don't think. And I'm kind of on the fence about how much wheat we should be eating really as well. But I do allow myself to have bread sometimes. I don't think it's that big of a deal, especially if it's just getting topped with vegetables in a big, huge vegan Dagwood sandwich. Another thing that you should be thinking about is if this natural, no preservative bread has to be kept frozen, what the hell are they doing to the bread that doesn't have to be frozen? This isn't a normal shopping trip. I'm just kind of refilling some supplies that I'm low on. A normal shopping trip, I'd be spending a lot more money, and I'm trying to kind of stay away from doing that. Because who likes to go to the store and drop $100 to $200? So keep everything fresh, buy it often. That way you won't be having a bunch of produce and stuff going bad in your fridge. That's a waste of money. You always want to carry your bags out to the car. That's how you get this pumped, slim, vegan look that everybody wants.